Today we're discussing big topic around the NFL. Rookie QBs. You got Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Drake May.
Don't forget about Drake May. Hey,
I mean,
he's
hell of a rookie class we have this year. Hell of a class.
I agree.
I mean, opening it up, I feel like Jaden Daniels is the best rookie quarterback. I mean, do I have any objections from the crew?
Personally over here, I'm gonna have to throw out Bo Nix. Hey, unbiased opinion, genuinely unbiased opinion. As a Broncos fan, I am a Broncos fan. I'm just gonna put it out there. I think Bo Nix is the best rookie QB in this draft class.
See, I'm going to disagree with you there. I know I do have a little bias towards Jaden Daniels.
Let's check stats. Let's pull up stats.
But, all right,
I get Jaden Daniels might have better stats, but
yeah. So the Commanders like to do this thing where they get to the red zone a lot. Might not put it in the end zone, and when they do, it's mostly the running backs.
So
So
has been punching it in lately.
So can I just mention one thing here? I have this quote from De'Ami Brown, wide receiver, Commanders. UNC correct? Yes, exactly. And he mentioned Jaden he's almost like a vet out there, which kind of shows his veteran presence in the both on and off the field.
What team is De'Ami Brown on?
De'Ami Brown's Washington Commander. Washington Commander, yeah. Veteran presence.
Okay. And Jaden Daniels is on
Jaden Daniels is a Washington quarterback.
Okay.
It's definitely none of those people. It's Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. Wow.
Maybe he's not playing like right now, but he definitely is.
I mean, he might
Out
have.
of anyone right here, it's definitely Caleb Williams.
I mean,
you saw what he did in college. What did he do?
What did he do in college though?
Oh, we have a viewer question.
So, so obviously, I don't know, the big news is today, offensive coordinator for the Bears was just fired. How is that going to impact Caleb Williams? And do you think that's going to make him a better quarterback, or how do you think it's going to impact him?
Depends who they're really going to land on.
The offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, terrible coordinator. As we saw Jackson Smith and Njigba last year. Let me look up the exact quote because I want to quote him. And it was not good. It was a reporter asking him about what the Bears fans, if they should be excited for Waldron. And what Smith and Njigba said was, good luck to y'all. He's a great person. Good luck. I mean, when you're talking about an offensive coordinator telling them that they need luck, that just kind of shows he wasn't a great coordinator, so he wasn't really helping Williams out in any shape, way, or form. So I think this does benefit Williams, but this does not take away from the fact that the Bears, I believe there was a stat.
Alex, can I chime in real quick?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say something.
Thomas Brown is the new Bears offensive coordinator. He was the passing game coordinator, but I still feel like Caleb Williams isn't the best rookie quarterback because of how many weapons he has. He's got guys like DJ Moore, Roma Dunn.
And that's exactly what I want to talk about. I feel like Shane really wasn't using they do have an elite wide receiver room. Keenan Allen really hasn't done much this year. Roma Dunze, DJ Moore is doing DJ Moore things. I'd really like to see him get more active. Really like to see him get more targets.
Yeah.
More plays around.
For sure.
Centered around Keenan Allen. I feel like he could be a very key part of this offense.
And
personally, a Chargers fan over here. So
Yeah,
what do you think?
You watch the Bears offense and you just they're making Caleb Williams do too much. You know, they're I feel like with the new OC, they're gonna let him do easier throws like they are for Jaden Daniels. I watched Jaden Daniels. Most of the throws he makes are easy. They're just
a lot of time in the
tossing
pocket,
out screen passes.
A lot of time in the pocket.
They're not
chill.
Same with Bo Nix. They're not making him do anything crazy, and I think that's just a problem.
Going back to Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown was the Bears.
Where was Thomas Brown before?
He was actually the Bears passing game coordinator, and he was actually the offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams. So he has that prior experience.
When was it with the Super Bowl team? Was it?
Yeah, he's fresh off that role, and he's got a great coaching background like Miami, and he's only 37. He's a young guy. He gets the game. He knows ball.
Can I mention something though? Because Bears fans, the number one complaint I've heard is the offensive line. They don't give Williams time to make plays and throw. But I do think that is a little oversold because Jaden Daniels' ability to escape the pocket and get out in when he's pressured, kind of maybe makes the fans think that the Commanders' offensive line is a little better than it is. And I think that Daniels, the way he's playing, kind of makes players around him play even better. He has that trait. He has aura, as some would say. You know, people want to play.
How is
for
that
him.
spelled?
Aura, aura.
Aura.
And he just
Good take.
Williams. I don't know. I don't love his attitude. You saw him last year with USC crying on the sidelines after the game. The painted nails. It doesn't really matter to me, but some see that as soft. And I just
it's not a weakness.
I really don't think that Williams has any sort of leadership traits.
And the reason why I think Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback out of the rookie class is because without Jaden Daniels, do we think the Commanders have a 7-3 record? Like, look at their defense. Benjamin St. Juste is their CB1. Well, now CB2 with Marshawn Lattimore being acquired. But before that, he was a CB1. Their defensive line is relatively new. Like, you got vets like De'Aaron Payne and Jonathan Allen who are good, but Jonathan Allen is out for the season. And so, like, you see this defense isn't very strong. Wide receiver core is pretty mid. Right, we have a good running back core. O-linemen have been generationally bad in the past, but they're looking pretty good this year. But I don't think without Jaden Daniels, I think the Commanders are sitting at like a 4-6
That's just not true.
or a 5-5.
Can I bring it back?
Yeah,
here?
I'd like to talk about Bo.
Yeah, real
quick.
quick. Yeah.
I'm gonna like to talk about Bo. I think it was a great point with the Commanders' offensive line. Broncos, personally, as a Broncos fan watching them, terrible, awful offensive line. If you watch that last play of the game against the Chiefs, you get great example of. I think Bo really shows what a great quarterback is. He works around that pretty bad offensive line, and he has time in the pocket. He looks like he's been in the league for a while. He feels comfortable, and I think he's going to be a lot of longevity in this league for a while.
Yeah, 1 second, our guest Matthew. I just want to say something. I believe that Bo Nix right now.
Personally, he doesn't have the best passing game. I'm not gonna lie. He maybe have like 6 touchdowns. Oh, can we talk about that catch though?
Yeah. But I want to say I think currently right now it's not close between Jane Daniels 1, Bo Nix 2, and Caleb Williams is not close.
I think it's a
drop
drop off
right now. I think it's a drop off.
How about
And
Drake
Drake May
And then
has
I think
not
it's
had the
significant-
he hasn't had the sample
Significant.
size. Drake May has looked pretty damn
slightly
good.
under Caleb.
But
He's only
yeah.
played 2 games.
I mean, if you watch,
Yeah, we got
He's
to
only
guess.
played
we
2
gotta
games.
guess
I
the
have.
question. All right. Yep.
Is it a
So-
question or a statement?
This is a question. So, talking about a lot of like the headline quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
But there's a big forgotten piece there. There's 2 first rounders who haven't even played a snap yet: Michael Penix Jr. and JJ McCarthy.
Oh, it's true.
JJ McCarthy tore his meniscus out for the season. What are your thoughts, and what do you think they're going to end up as good as the quarterbacks like Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams, or do you think they're just going to be kind of a career-long?
First, I'm gonna touch on that first. The situation with JJ McCarthy and the Vikings. I see no reason. Of course, their team is based off a young kind of team. I don't know if Sam Darnold has not really health. He's pretty young, but he's also not. He's also pretty not too young. 7-1 or were they 6-2?
I think the term we're looking for is he? Can he be the franchise guy?
I think he is that franchise guy.
No.
I think
well,
Sam Darnold is
I
that
really
franchise
think
guy.
right now
JJ
Sam
McCarthy has never played a
Let's
snap.
look.
in the
Let's take a
NFL.
look at
He
Sam
got hurt
Darnold.
his first drive in the NFL.
Sam Darnold, I think he
Wait.
had a little bit of a Linsanity run because let's look at his last 3 games, okay? October 24th versus the Rams. Good game, 2 touchdowns, 240 passing yards. Can't hate on that. Last 2 games, though. Versus the Colts, 290 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But against the Jaguars, a Jaguars team that is not known for being a shutdown defense, 240 yards, 3 interceptions to 0 touchdown. Those throws, I think he was targeting Justin Jefferson on all 3 of those interceptions. I watched them. We're not even close. I just think Darnold is in the perfect situation and still is just a mid-tier QB, and McCarthy will come back and take over that spot. Yeah. Another guest question from Wade Pope, 2027.
Yes, I would like to talk on that situation with Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy. I think Sam Darnold, that situation will be similar to what happened in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. You saw Jordan Love sitting behind a great quarterback like Aaron Rodgers for a couple seasons. I'm not comparing Sam
Comparing Darnold to Rodgers.
I'm
here.
not comparing Darnold
I
to
feel like-
Rodgers, but I think JJ McCarthy can get the experience a little bit sitting on the sideline for maybe 2 or 3 more seasons and then put him in
I'm
that
actually
starting
disagree with
position.
that. I feel
Similarly
like,
to
I
Michael
feel like
Penix.
that situation is more like the Falcon situation.
Yeah.
I feel like JJ McCarthy was the starter. He was the starter. Jordan Love was never the starter. JJ McCarthy was the starter. That's the situation. He comes back next year and he can be the starter. Jordan Love was never going to be the starter, and Michael Penix was never going to be the starter either.
With Penix, though, I do think your comparison would work to Penix because Penix is in a great situation here. I mean, the Falcons, as long as they improve that defensive line, that defense is going to be shut down. And, Cousins, he's looked good, but he's on the older side. I think he's 36 years old. I know he's up there.
Yeah,
He's
like
up there in
30,
age. He is, he's 36 years old. So, and so that means he's only got a few more years left in the league. And with Penix coming in, great coaching staff over there. You've seen Raheem Morris already in contention for Coach of the Year. So I think Penix will be great.
Yeah, Penix, like we said with that Jordan Love Aaron Rodgers situation, I feel like Penix is in a kind of a similar spot there. I mean, like Kirk Cousins, clear vet in the league. He's been to the playoffs multiple times. Although he hasn't won a Super Bowl, he's still a vet. And Penix is going to get that experience. Penix is a young lefty slinger. He can really throw that ball.
Yeah.
And he's really can take it on the legs too. Reminds me a lot of guys like
Michael Vick.
Yeah, Michael Vick, but I don't know if he's got that Michael Vick legs. Like Michael Vick.
I don't know if he's got that dog in him.
Personally, I think Penix is a superstar. I wanted the Broncos to get him. That unfortunately didn't work out, but I think he'll come off the bench.
I think McCarthy's going to be better than Penix just because I watched what he did at Michigan, and with Jim Harbaugh as the coach, those quarterbacks aren't going to throw the ball that much. You see Herbert with the Chargers, he only threw the ball 18 times last game.
Yeah, you see with McCarthy though, he's very careful with the ball. I'm looking at his stats for Michigan right here. Started all 15 games, only 22 touchdowns though.
Yeah,
I feel like that number could go up, but 4 interceptions, that's really good with the ball.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of Jaden
But
Daniels.
if you see the Vikings, what they need is a quarterback that just doesn't turn over the ball because their defense is going to pressure the quarterback and just going to suffocate them, and their run game is elite.
Personally, I really like the Falcons wide receiver room. I think Drake London's a very good wide receiver. Darnell Mooney, also Beast, Raymond McLeod.
Kyle Pitts.
Hate to cut you guys off here, but we have some viewer questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I look at the 2020 draft class, or it might
That's
be
Burrow.
2020.
That's Burrow.
Burrow,
No, it's
Lamar,
Lamar.
Not Lamar, no.
Lamar's 2018.
When I look at that draft class and looking into the future in 5 years, obviously that draft class was one of the best QB draft classes we ever had.
that is the best draft class.
Where do you think this QB
I
room
think
compares
just
to that
gonna
draft
stack-
class in 5 years?
I would
Okay.
say
In 5 years, from the kids that aren't even in college now.
no.
Oh, I'm
The
not-
24 draft class to 20 draft class.
Oh,
You're
I
talking
think-
about Sean Murray and him?
They stack up. They stack up pretty closely to each other because although I don't know if the 24 class is the star powered like Burrow and Herbert.
are we talking strictly quarterback?
Yes,
Yeah.
just quarterbacks. But I think consistency wise, Tua, with those concussions,
How
you
about
don't know
Hurts?
how and Hurts too.
How
I
about-
think we could have 6 good starting QBs from the 24 class,
Yeah,
which I think the 20 class has 5 with Love, Hurts, Burrow, Tua, and Herbert. Did I say Herbert? No.
And Burrow.
And Burr. I
No, you
think
said
there's
Burrow.
5.
It's
No,
five. It's
there's
five,
Tua, Hurts, Burrow, Herbert,
Love.
Yeah, so 5 to 6 right there.
Yeah.
Maybe the 2020 draft class is a little more star power, but consistency wise, I could see 6 good starting QBs
Yeah.
in the NFL.
I really love that question because the 2020 class reminds me a lot of the 2024 class. Jaden Daniels putting on a historic rookie season, kind of similar to what Justin Herbert did, winning Rookie of the Week almost every week. And also, we talked about Jordan Love and how he sat on the bench, seeing that with Michael Penix. But I still think the 2020 class edges out the 2024 class for sure. Because Joe Burrow, just a great quarterback, led his team to a Super Bowl. Tua Tagovailoa, he's dealt with some injuries, but he's still a great quarterback. Justin Herbert, great quarterback. Jordan Love, great quarterback. Hurts, great quarterback. but I don't see 5 of the 6
Yeah.
2024 draft class living up to those 5.
I mean, 2 of them making the Super Bowl already.
2020 reminds me more of the 2004 draft class with
Oh.
Phillip Rivers, Big
True.
Ben, and Eli Manning.
Eli Manning, yeah.
That's like the class that's
3
like,
studs right
kinda
there.
like, yeah.
Oh,
That's
you're
why-
also thinking about Ben Roethlisberger. 3 Super Bowls from him.
Yeah, that's why I said Big Ben.
Does Wade Polk have a question here?
No, I just kind of had a comment. I mean,
Come on.
I think it's kind of what Sean was saying in 2020, this 2024 class. You're not going to see, you can't picture those guys being great Super Bowl quarterbacks, but that's just a little too early to see. I mean, you've seen Jaden Daniels. I don't think this year that team is going to a Super Bowl. But after a couple of years with experience and stuff, I could see it. I could see JJ McCarthy after his time with sitting behind Sam Darnold. I could see him with all those weapons going to a Super Bowl, leading that team to a Super Bowl. I think that you just kind of have to see the picture a little bit more broader than Sean is seeing it.
Yeah,
Where you could have those quarterbacks end up being great in 5-6 years.
Yeah, obviously we got to let their careers, this first rookie season ride out, because I think we need to see some of these rookies go into the playoffs and have success, because that tells you a lot about, regular season. Playoffs a whole different animal than regular season. So you got to see what they do in the playoffs first, because Jane Daniels and Bo Nix both have a decent shot of being in the playoffs. Caleb's probably not going to get there this year.
Wins aren't a QB stat though.
I mean, but you want to see how they perform in the playoffs.
So like obviously we talked about Jaden Daniels being one of the top quarterbacks. What is that comparison to him and Lamar?
Ooh.
I don't like the comparison at all. Because
Like what Mike Tomlin
I
said.
think Lamar. Yeah, you can't compare anyone right now to Lamar. Lamar is clearly the best quarterback in the NFL currently right now. I think everyone here can
I agree with that.
agree, because his arm has just taken a huge step up
Yeah.
over the past few seasons, and those legs are easily the most dangerous in the league. So you cannot right now compare anybody to Lamar.
I would say that Jaden Daniels and Lamar do show similarities, though. They're both really good with their legs, but they also are very different in terms of like their body. Jaden Daniels is very skinny. He's still what is he, 6'1", somewhere around there.
6'3".
But Lamar's a little more built. I would say he's a little more risky when doing those juke moves.
More elusive.
Yeah, he's more elusive. Jaden Daniels likes to go down, which I respect. Don't want to get injured. But Jaden Daniels just has a better deep ball, in my opinion, than Lamar. While Lamar has a better mid and short passing game.
Yeah, I'm also gonna have to disagree with that at the same time. I feel like they are somewhat just exactly the same. I feel like we've seen, as time and time's gone on, we've seen more people kind of develop the play style. Like Michael Vick was maybe Randall Cunningham was kind of the first, but as time's gone on, we've kind of seen this dual threat kind of quarterback come through, and I feel like they can't be exactly the same. But I feel
But can I just, right before we get to Wade Polk's question right here, Jane Daniels himself said he's a passer who can run, not a runner who can pass. And I think Lamar may be a run-first type guy. You build the offense around his running ability. Daniels just has the ability. He's a passer first, which is why I don't think they are the exact same type of player. All right, Wade Polk.
One thing that if I were to compare Jaden Daniels to another quarterback in the league, I don't hear this term being thrown around a lot, but I kind of would compare him to Mahomes in a way. I mean, Mahomes can throw that deep ball. He can scramble out of the pocket. He doesn't have that winningness yet that Mahomes has shown clearly over his 5 years, 6 years. But I think that Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, is a great comparison to Jaden Daniels.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that take. Not because it's wrong necessarily, just because it's not right in my opinion. Because I feel like although they're very slightly similar, when Mahomes gets out of the pocket, he's looking to do all these circus throws, sidearms. We saw the behind the back to Kelsey in the preseason. Meanwhile, when Jaden Daniels is looking at first of all, when Jaden Daniels is in the pocket, of course he's looking pass. But when he's coming out of the pocket, he's looking for that open space to run as well as looking to pass. Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes, I would say, is looking for a pass, and his last option would be to run. But I mean, we do see Patrick Mahomes has some legs. He chucked that guy on the 49ers, so he does have that kind of ability. But what I would like to say is Patrick Mahomes reminds me a lot of Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
I would say they both can throw on the run. They both have good throws on the run. They're very similar with their running. And although we haven't seen it yet from Caleb, I think Caleb could be a Patrick Mahomes variant, but I don't think he'll be as good as Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna have,
I don't think anyone will be as good as Patrick.
Two comparisons here. I'd say Jaden Daniels reminds me us more of Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, dual threat type of guy, can sling the ball when he needs to. Definitely got a cannon, got an arm on that guy. Definitely got the legs. He can run the ball if you need to. Also, I want to compare Bo Nix to Baker Mayfield. I think that's a decent comparison. I mean, just watching Bo, he reminds me of Baker. I mean, I can get into specifics, but just watching him kind of reminds me of him.
I think we're gonna have to wrap this up here with the last question.
And we're talking about like this 2024 draft class. A big thing, maybe like a good way to end this off is where does the 2024 draft class compare to maybe the quarterbacks next year coming out of college, like Shador, Cam Ward, Jackson Dart?
I think I can answer that. You can speak.
for
Yeah,
all of us.
because I've been watching college a lot recently. Just because I'm not used to having a quarterback in Washington. I'm used to scouting these QBs. But so when I'm looking at it, I think this 2025 draft class has a lot of potential, but there is not much of a high ceiling. High floor for any of these prospects. Shador, Cam Ward.
High ceiling.
No, there's not a high floor. They have a high ceiling.
I personally think Shador Sanders is overrated.
Yeah, he's sick.
I don't really
think
There's
that's
a very low floor and a very high ceiling.
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah,
what I'm getting at is the good with these guys is great, but the bad
It's bad.
is terrible.
That's a very good
Yeah.
point.
I think
Very good point.
the safest pick for next year will be who's the guy out of Texas?
The guy-
Quinn
Quinn
Ewers.
Ewers. I think he will be the
Ah.
safest pick
But
for
you know,
next
I
year.
do want to say we say like bad is very bad, but every single draft class that's
Yeah, that is true.
so I think it's very unfair to compare each like the draft classes.
Personally, if I'm like a Giants fan or I'm a team in need of a quarterback, which thankfully I'm not this year, I'm going with Cam Ward as my top QB prospect.
I don't know.
I just think the athleticism, the arm talent, it's just there. It doesn't compare to anyone else in the draft.
But I think you look at Jalen Milroe, and people are seeing a lot of Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, but he can't throw the ball.
I personally don't think there's a safe pick. I think it's
Yeah.
all a gamble.
I think it's a gamble, but if I'm going Cam Ward,
I'm going Jaden Milroe, but
yeah. Let's go around to end this podcast. Who are we taking? All right, Tomas. Who are we taking with our pick right here? Guess right here.
I'm taking Cam Ward.
Cam Ward. Okay. Wait.
I like Quinn Ewers
Quinn Ewers. Sean.
or Jackson Dart. I
Or
think I've
Jackson
seen great
Ooh,
things of him.
well, we'll go Matthew. We'll go Matthew first.
I would 100% say Jalen Milroe.
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart.
Jalen Milroe.
Think Cam Ward.
I think Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart. All right.
See you boys later.
This
He's like
was the
Anakin.
sideline story of the day. See you soon.
219.